a really slow start with RPG Overload and Baldur's Gate 3, but then kind of recovering and coming back up. And then, of course, Kino Casino happened, right? Now, I want to give you guys a little bit of background because I've never told the full story. Are you ready for this? I'm going to tell you an exclusive story that no one knows. Ready? You guys have been coming by and talking to me about Kino Casino for a few months. Notably, Kino Casino started covering Review Tech USA. Everyone knows the obsession that Review Tech USA has with me, that he talks about me constantly, even to now. He literally did a Christmas Eve stream all about me. Totally not obsessive, right? So, Kino Casino had been basically talking about Review Tech in a very negative way. And people had asked me, well, have you ever watched their show? Have you heard about what they're saying about Review Tech? They seem to be the only people covering Review Tech in a negative light, while you have been harassed by this guy for years, been trying to talk about him and expose him, and no one cares what you say because, you know, you're a meme, you're a lol cow, right? And I was like, no, I don't know who Kino Casino is. I've never really heard of them. So after a few people kept coming by and mentioning them in my chat, I said, you know what? Just on a whim, this was like in July. I said, I'm going to check these guys out and see what they're all about. I'm curious because I never venture outside of my comfort zone, ever. I want to see what it is that people are talking about. So I went over to Kick one night and I checked out one of their archived streams. And I started seeing them talk about Rich, and I was like, wow, they are destroying this guy, and they're exposing him for things I don't even know about. Because again, I don't pay attention to these guys. These people obsess about me. It's not the other way around. So who even knew that any of this stuff was going on, right? And then, of course, I watched them make fun of me. I watched them actually have clips about me. They said things about me. They said things about my wife, right? They said all these things. I'm like, man, so they seem to be pretty rough to everyone, right? And the funny part about it is, you know, someone like that, I get it. I totally get what they're doing. I do. And it's entertaining, too. Like, I was watching it, and I was laughing at the show, even when they were making fun of me, and I was like, you know, it's rough to hear people roast you. It is. You know, it's still entertainment. It's actually enjoyable. So I got it. I was like, you know what? Here's some guys who they've just started to talk about me, okay? They're just dipping their toe into the bullshit detractor sphere that's around Darkside Phil. I'm going to reach out to them. So I did. I actually, at first, DM'd them on Twitter. And I said, hey, are you guys the hosts of the Kino Casino show? I want to make sure that these are the right people I'm talking to. And it took a few days, but then actually they responded back. I think it was Ashton who actually responded back first. And he was like, yeah, this is really Ashton from the show. What's going on? You know, I'm surprised to hear from you. And we had a conversation back and forth a little. And basically the conversation was like, listen, I've seen your show. I've heard that you guys are making fun of me, but you're also like slamming Review Tech and all of this. And, you know, just so you know, I'd be open to a conversation to talk about this kind of stuff. Or whatever. And basically we kind of behind the scenes started having a convo that led to us have a shocking out of nowhere appearance on Kino Casino in early August. Now, you guys remember what happened. Everyone told me not to do it. Right here on this very show, I talked to you guys about it. And I was like, and you guys were like, no, don't do it. It's another side scrollers. It's another setup. You're going to get destroyed by these guys. That's all they want. Right? So obviously I had that in my mind going into it, but I felt like at that point, okay, I need to do something different. I can't just sit here and do the same thing over and over. And this might be an opportunity at the very least, even if it goes poorly, I'm sure a few people might get a laugh out of it and maybe it would benefit some way. You know, the way I saw it, my detractors are going to do what they're going to do no matter what. And every once in a while, you got to take a shot at something. You know, it's kind of like, how can I say? In life, you're going to be treated badly by people, all right? It's just going to happen. It's inevitable. But just because you get treated badly by people, I'd like to think that you shouldn't just close yourself off and lose faith in general. Because if you do, you're going to miss out on so many positive opportunities in your life. Just because you had a bad experience once or twice or 5 times or 10 times or 50 times. Well, in my case, I've had a lot of bad experiences with people. Let's put it that way. Okay. But I feel like if I just say, oh, I give up, I'm never going to try. I never want to have a conversation. I never want to go on a show. I never want to do a collab. I never want to do, I'm going to end up sitting here 70 years old, withered and gray, and only having done the same kind of content and never done anything different. And I might maybe be happy with that, but at the same time, it's a shame. I feel like it's squandered opportunity and squandered potential because I feel like I can do more than that. You know what I mean? I can do more than just be the guy that just does one thing. And for me, I wanted to take that chance. I don't know what it was. I just had a good feeling about it. I did. I legit had a good feeling that if I keep trying, something good would finally come of it. And the rest is history. I appeared on the show. It was a highly entertaining appearance. Everyone seemed to like me being a straight man to their chaos of the lolcow sphere that they cover. I immediately did another fast appearance within a couple of weeks where we had Josh Moon there. And I was talking with Josh Moon, the maker or the owner and operator of Kiwi Farms, about my thoughts about his site. And it was a fascinating interaction and interview for sure. Right. And that led into the door opening for me having someone like Keemstar as my first guest on this show, having the big explosive interview with Stuttering Craig. And we all know how that went. And, other things as well. And me, doing multiple collabs with Kino Casino, right? I ended up not doing just that, but we did gameplay of, what was it called? Chained Together. And then later on, we did some zombies gameplay on Halloween, which was really good. I actually really like the zombies co-op that we did. I think that that's a great game. And I'd like to maybe get back into it someday. I just don't know how or when because I don't seem to have time to do anything. So many, many awesome collabs between those guys. And that just really gave me an opportunity to be seen in a different light by people on the internet. So basically now there's 3 schools of people on the internet. One school of people are my detractors who will never be swayed. They'll always hate me. They'll always obsess over me, and they're always going to benefit by saying negative things about me. So that's literally never going to change. But now what's happened is we have 2 other categories. People who are neutral and are actually truly neutral. Looking at me now and be like, all those years that people hated on Phil, it doesn't really make sense. I mean, there's even now a 4-hour documentary on him, which we've all seen, and there's nothing really that bad in it. It's just a normal dude, kind of boring, honestly. A lot of people have said that, if ultimately the public opinion has shifted from Phil is the absolute most heinous lying lolcow ever to, he's just a normal guy who's kind of boring. I'll take the normal guy who's kind of boring. I'm okay with that. In fact, that's what I've been saying for years. If people would just see me fairly and stop throwing me in with this category of insanely chaotic, horrible lolcow people, and instead just say he's a normal dude, leave him alone, I'm happy with that because that allows me to have positive viewership, have a community of people who love what I do and are able to come by and just have that normal kind of positive social interaction. When literally most of the internet is crapping on you, you can't have that. You understand? But now public opinion has shifted to a more neutral stance. And that's all I ever wanted. Okay? If anything, because we had the Kino Casino arc, right, leading into me reacting to my own documentary by June the King, it changed everything. It really did. And you might say, well, I don't get it because, Phil, you had very short-lived gains. You had more views and more support and all of that for like 2-3 months, and now things are kind of back to normal. But are they? Views are back to normal. I'll admit that. But you might have noticed the negative element isn't here anymore. Is that? You notice that we can all kind of hang out and talk and chill, and there's no real overhanging negative element anymore. There aren't people trying to flood the chat with trolling, and there's not people dumping on each other constantly. All that stuff is shifted to their own levels. Like, they're all doing that now on their own restreams and shit, and I don't care about those people. They don't matter. They're literally farts in the fucking wind. They just, and then they're gone. Doesn't matter what they say and do. Instead, now my community is able to enjoy each other's company without that level of intervention, harassment, whatever you want to call it, that used to always be prevalent. That's a good thing. In addition, I have gotten increased support. Even though you might say, well, I don't get it, your views are back to normal. Yes, but now people actually are being fair to me. Understand? So now, look at what I have. An amazing studio setup. The ability to play any game I want at any moment. I'm not so financially restricted that I can't even play new games unless I raise a certain amount. We're not there. We're hitting goals. We're crushing it every day. It's not even like, oh, every once in a while. Every day we're crushing it. That is a huge turnaround, okay? I don't need to be Mr. Popular. I just need to be able to live. And now I can. That's how this whole thing came about. By Kino Casino giving me a chance to show that I'm just a normal guy, that I'm personable, that I'm rational, that I'm not some crazy freak out to scam you every moment, which is what these idiots have said for 10 years and is not true. Now I can just be a normal content creator. Is all I ever wanted, and I feel like I do deserve the amount of effort and dedication and determination and work that I put into this. I feel like I should at least be able to be treated like a normal human, and I'm glad that now that's happening. Damn. So, thank you for that. And as you can see, these last few months have been wildly successful. Whether it's getting into PC gaming the first time in over 10 years and now being able to play any PC game I want on keyboard and mouse on a high-end setup with massively increased streaming and on-demand video quality of 1440p and full 60 frames per second, co-streaming on 2 different services, which is amazing when you really think about it. Co-streaming between YouTube and Kick and getting support on both sites, getting traction in other places rather than just my usual space, right? That's amazing. Branching out, doing different kinds of content, reviving DSP Tries It, trying some political content. Now take a look at 2025, me now attempting pro wrestling commentary again for the first time in a decade, right? In my opinion, all right, things are looking very, very up. The only thing is, my level of positivity and success is not the mainstream belief system, okay? Sadly, out there are people who think to be successful, you need to be a million sub YouTuber. You need to be bringing in thousands of viewers to stream. You need to be making insane amounts of bank. I don't believe any of those 3 things, all right? I feel like to be successful, you need to love what you do. You need to have an audience that loves to see you love what you do. And then you need to find a way to make it profitable. And that's it. All right. I love live streaming. I love interacting with all of you. And I love the fact that now we have flexibility to do whatever we want. On a day, we could just sit here and talk, or we can play a game, and it could be a game from any direction, PC, console, whatever. No limitations, right? Talk about politics. We could talk about other topics. We could do pro wrestling again. We could go in any direction we want. We have that flexibility. And you're here for the ride. And you know that now there's a positive community focused around it, that we can now support each other. We can have great social experiences. It's okay to like DSP again. It's not, oh, now you're an idiot because you like DSP. The only people saying that are my idiotic, very obsessed detractors that no one cares about. The funny part is they have become the lol cows and they don't realize it. Thousands of idiots cannot look in the mirror and understand they are now object of ridicule because they are the obsessive losers here. I am not the heinous villain they made me out to be for a decade, and no one believes that anymore who has a rational mind. So we are free to now enjoy each other's company and enjoy new kinds of content, different kinds of fun, and not have to worry about any of their bullshit. How long has it been since I've directly addressed any of them about anything they've said about me? I don't need to. Literally, it's fluff. It's garbage. It's hey, another thing to say negative about Phil to try to make a buck today. Go ahead and make your buck. You're irrelevant. And the moment that I turn the camera off, you die. Get it? You just die on the vine. Done. Nothing else to sustenance. So there you go. I'm happy with how this last year went. Seriously, I had a great time. Really, a really great time. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed it as well. What a year. We started off slow. We started off pretty negative in the gaming industry with how things were going. And then what a turnaround in the second half where now it doesn't matter if games are bad or not. We have more than enough to do. Like, admittedly, let's be honest. Right now, there's not a lot going on in gaming. But I'm super busy. I've got 2 major playthroughs, a bunch of multiplayer games, chill indie games, chill, relaxing late night streams. We've got new content coming up, year-end series, all kinds of stuff going on. I'm a busy dude. I don't need to have a bunch of big AAA games to support me and have my content be successful anymore. I can just do whatever I want. I love that freedom. I love that creative control. I really do. So thank you so very much for that. I really do appreciate that. And I thank you all for what I would argue is probably one of the most determined, dedicated, loyal fan bases I've ever seen on the internet. You guys who are still here, you stuck through it, man. You really did. And finally, like I said a few months ago, we have come out the other end of that tunnel. Absolutely, we have. There's no reason to worry about the future. We're in a good position. As long as you guys keep coming by to hang out with me every day and we have fun together and you support that fun, we're good. Doesn't matter where the game industry goes. Doesn't matter. None of this matters. We're good. You can have a great time every day. Enjoy each other's company. And that's all I care about in 2025, man. Now, not to say that, that means that you sit back and, now everything's just roses and unicorns and rainbows. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be things that are going to be, hurdles to jump over and more mountains to climb. I'm sure there will be more adversity to face. Life is like that. Whenever you feel good, all of a sudden, adversity comes and smacks you right in the face. And it's all about tackling each thing as it comes and continuing forward positively. All right? I am very excited for the future. This year, all the stuff that is to come, and I hope that you are too. I want to thank you all so much for 2024. It was a great year, in my opinion. I had a great time with it, and I'm very much looking forward to new stuff in the new year. All right. Cool. I received a $2 tip. Excited for frequency tonight. Let's find the dang killer. Yeah. So now let's briefly cover the schedule, which is going to lead us to our next topic, which is actually that